So let us discuss a very important topic, critical topic today on what impact it is going to have, the next recession is going to have on people who are pursuing their master's or higher education in US, Canada, Australia. So how is there any risk factor associated with that? So I think no one is discussing this thing, so I thought I should basically. I found like in the previous time, the 2008 global financial crisis, as the crisis unfolded, there were many job losses in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. When these kind of crisis happens, associative functions, people they are the first to be fired. So like now, if you are IT systems guy working and IT systems kind of work, then there is definitely IT is a associative. It's a supportive function kind of. It's a supportive only to one industry, to technology industry, technology, what products they are doing. So you stand at risk. And we know that also we had like job losses in India also. Back in India we had layoffs from major companies except very few. The exception was Accenture was an exception. But apart from that, all the other companies they did layoffs because people won't need, right? They decreased their bench strength. So IT kind of suffers now. MIS is a hot favorite now. So you have capacity risk. So is it going to impact you? From the previous data, there was some job losses were there, and people couldn't find job during that time, and also from other from even from top colleges, the graduates, the MBA graduates I'm telling about from India who were pursuing their MBA from top colleges, even they had difficulty finding job. Okay, so even they had difficulty finding job during that time, 2008, and the market recovery takes 2-3 years. So you have to really think about if you are going to wait 2-3 years, whether it is possible to wait 2-3 years as per the visa regulations. So I just wanted to convey these things. So you have to see it, and the first thing is that when is this next financial crisis going to happen? Many analysts were predicting it to be happening in late 2018, but now even 2019 is in risk. Now they are saying like 19 and 2020, these are the vulnerable periods where we can have the recession triggered. It is not just the expert opinions, actually there are a lot of indicators that are showing that the economy is slowing down, like it is proceeding towards a halt. Now these kind of cycles, the thing is that they happen at regular on an average regular intervals. So 8 years, it is some 8 to 10 years cycle. These are related to the bigger debt cycles, and all the economics is there. So what they say is that every 10 years or so, 8 to 10 years, it will be triggered. Now last time it was 2008, so if you add 10, so 2018, right? So we are due, and the debt level has skyrocketed in the US, and like trillion dollars of debt, it is skyrocketing, and student debt, there is credit card debt, there is other debts. So that's the situation of US, and like the bubble is expanding, and no one knows when that bubble is going to burst. The situation is also not very different in the other developed countries like Canada also. In Canada, the housing bubble, it's about to burst, people are saying, because in Toronto, in Vancouver area, you already know, like the property rates are skyrocketing. So very impossible to even get a apartment for rent, and mostly you'll have to take the basement areas for like 1000 or 1200. Even that costs that much Canadian dollars. So it's quite expensive right now in Vancouver, and that property bubble, and so it cannot go on rising forever. The property prices cannot go on rising forever. There comes a time when the bubble bursts, and then we have the problem, economic collapses. And since each sector is linked to each everything else, it cascades, so there is a halt. So you cannot say that if you are working as a field engineer closer to the industry, if you are working, so then only you will be vulnerable to these things. No, it's not the case. So as far as MBA people, they also suffer. Then what is the parameter to judge yourself? I think one of the thing is like if you are into coding, development, and very good skills, emerging skills, and you are a valuable resource, you do work that matters. In that case, it will be very difficult for you to be fired or to not get selected for certain positions. So that is my way of addressing this risk, that I should be doing these kind of things. And so I don't really know about the other ones, because these are unpredictable things, and you at best you can do is look what happened previously. So now Bay Area jobs means those are good jobs only. So in the Silicon Valley itself, this kind of problem happened. So you have to see that, and maybe only startups are. But yeah, Lehman Brothers, and you had Citi, all the bigger companies also are laying off people. So no one is really secure in such scenarios. And to be frank, these are not like good times to get into college, but anyways people are doing that. So let's see, and let's hope for the best, because the results can be devastating when you are spending so much for your education and you are not able to get a job, or then it's really difficult. And even in as far as Australia also, the property bubble is there. So in Sydney and these places, the property, like it is the flats people are not able to purchase, like the value is skyrocketing. So simultaneously this is happening, and London is already experiencing these things. So US, Canada, UK and Australia, so they are on the verge of economic crash, on the verge. And since these economies are related, they are going to affect the world economy. So world recession will happen. But the previous time, like India and China, like major Southeast Asian economies, were shielded from the crisis. Only IT people faced it, but the other industries are there. We have, okay, this is because of our strength, like the strength as economy. Now India and China, they are very, very self-reliant countries. They produce goods and services, and like we are the market. Basically India is the market, global marketplace for all the things. So we didn't know much about the problem, and our banking sector, they are not going to lay off people like Citibank does, okay, because this is public sector, okay. Most of us didn't know about the previous financial crisis. So in that way, so people who are working in India, they will not have the problem, but people who are working in US, working in Canada, and most importantly who are just starting to look out for a job, new job, they're going to face problem. And market does recover, but recovery takes 2-3 years, and the last time the recovery took around 2010. So this is the problem. Now one thing I told, like you have to be valuable with respect to what the work that you are doing. That is one thing. And the second thing is that you have to be close to the academia and not to the industry. So, and those are also the second category of people who will be at lesser risk. If you are doing research, if you are teaching students, you are a professor, you are working in the university, and the university is sponsoring your visa, then the economic slowdown is not going to affect, right? And so, as a scholar, if you are working, then so teaching assistantship, graduate assistantship, these kind of things you should look forward to, and academia jobs, and these are there. And apart from that, already now US, their retail industry is already collapsing. Retail industry is not in a good shape. Companies are closing down. Like this one major company closed. I think Sears closed. So sales, and they are laying off people, and this problem is there, and debt crisis is going on, and house prices are increasing, skyrocketing. This problem is there, and some indicators are there now. In this is happening in 2019. I'm seeing the Baltic Dry Index is showing that the global trade and commerce is slowing down. The Baltic Dry Index is your how much shipping is going on in the major routes. So it shows that index shows that how much trade and commerce is going on internationally. Now the Baltic and Dry Index, the last time it was showing when the global financial economic crisis was happening, it indicated before the crisis. Now the index is also reaching similar levels around this time, and that is one indicator. And the second indicator is recently FedEx announced that the international trade and commerce, they are experiencing fall in revenues. So FedEx is facilitating international trade and commerce, so it is an indicator that whether the economy is working fine or not. And this is one alarming indicator again. But there are certain other points which are neutralizing these effects, because actually the previous economic collapse that happened, most people were not prepared for that. And even big organization, Lehman Brothers and others, they were not able to foresee that. Okay, so the Federal Reserve, they couldn't take the appropriate measures, but this time they know it, that what problems happened in 2008. So the Fed is prepared and it is regulating. This is what people are saying and the media is saying, but common analysts, experts are saying that the Fed is not doing anything, and all these people are reaping the benefit of the bubbles actually. So they are not going to stop it. So the Fed may be taking some steps, regarding interest rates, and trying to control the onset of the economic crisis. The Fed is doing it, and they are in a better position, they are telling that. So, but no one knows that, and these are like economic cycles, so whether these can be prevented or not is I don't think these can be prevented. So as a student, you should take care of this thing, and you have to prepare well in advance. And I thought I should be informing this through a video, because most of my friends, no one is aware of this and no one is telling us. So if you appreciate this, like, share, subscribe, show some support.